Imagine you walk up to a vending machine, and without needing anyone to assist you, you insert your money, select your snack, and the machine delivers it seamlessly. Now, picture if financial agreements could work similarly, without the need for intermediaries. This is the essence of smart contracts. At their core, smart contracts are self-executing agreements coded onto a blockchain, which is a decentralized network of computers. Unlike traditional contracts that require a trusted third party to enforce terms, smart contracts automate transactions based on predetermined conditions. So what does that mean for finance? Let's say you wanted to lend a friend some money. With a traditional agreement, you might draft a contract, sign it, and hope your friend repays you as promised. But what if you could encode that agreement directly into a smart contract? You could set it up so that the loan amount is automatically transferred to your friend, and if they miss a payment, the smart contract would trigger a notification or even impose a penalty. This automation reduces the need for trust, as the terms are enforced mechanically, much like our vending machine. This leads us to the revolutionary potential of smart contracts in finance. They not only reduce transaction costs and enhance efficiency, but also open doors to new financial models that could be more inclusive. Imagine a world where anyone with internet access could participate in financial activities, lending, borrowing, investing, without the barriers often imposed by traditional banks. The decentralized nature of smart contracts means that they operate independently of any single authority, making financial transactions more accessible. However, the strange consequence of this autonomy is that it shifts the power dynamic. Who benefits from this technology? On one hand, individuals gain unprecedented control over their financial dealings. On the other, it raises questions about accountability. If a smart contract malfunctions or is exploited, who is responsible? The code is law, but who interprets that law when things go wrong? As we ponder these questions, we begin to see the dual nature of smart contracts. They can empower individuals while also presenting new challenges. What if we could refine this technology to not only serve personal interests, but also foster community well-being? This is where our exploration of decentralized finance takes a deeper turn, leading us to consider the balance between individual incentives and collective benefits. As we continue, let's delve into real-world examples and models that illustrate how we might achieve this balance. What if a financial platform could reward you for helping your neighbor? Imagine walking into a community where your actions not only benefit your own financial standing, but also uplift those around you. This idea is not merely a whimsical thought. It's a potential reality within decentralized finance, where the structure of financial systems can be designed to incentivize both individual gain and community welfare. Let's explore how this could unfold through real-world examples of platforms that embody this duality. One compelling case is the platform known as Giveth, a decentralized application that aims to create a community-oriented ecosystem for charitable giving. Here, users can donate their cryptocurrency to various community projects, and in return, they receive rewards based on their contributions. This system operates on the principle that when individuals engage in acts of kindness, they should be recognized and rewarded. Giveth encourages users to support local initiatives, fostering a sense of belonging and shared purpose. But what makes Giveth particularly fascinating is its transparent tracking of donations and community projects, which builds trust among users. Imagine a scenario where every time you donate, you not only help a local initiative, but also earn tokens that can be used for future projects or exchanged for services within your community. This mechanism not only rewards individual generosity, but also cultivates a culture of collaboration and support. Now, let's consider another platform, Bright ID. This innovative system uses social verification to create a decentralized identity solution that empowers users while enhancing community trust. Users verify each other's identities in a way that protects privacy, yet ensures accountability. Through Bright ID, individuals can access various decentralized applications, and in many cases, they receive benefits for participating in the verification process. This participation is a direct reflection of how decentralized finance can weave together personal benefits and community integrity, creating a tapestry of mutual support. Suppose you're a Bright ID user who helps verify others in your neighborhood. Not only do you contribute to a more trustworthy community, but you also unlock access to exclusive community funds or discounts on local services. Here, the incentive structure is intricately tied to the social fabric of the community, demonstrating how financial systems can evolve beyond mere transactions. The role of user participation in these systems cannot be overstated. In both Giveth and Bright ID, it's the active engagement of individuals that shapes the ecosystem. These platforms illustrate that by prioritizing user involvement in the design and operation of financial systems, we can create environments that encourage collaboration. However, this raises important questions. What are the challenges we might face in motivating people to participate? And how do we ensure that the system remains equitable for all? The strange consequence is that while these models offer compelling incentives, they also require careful consideration of how power dynamics can shift within a community. If a few individuals dominate the incentive structure, does that undermine the collective benefits we seek to achieve? Or could the system be designed to prevent such imbalances? Each platform we examine can serve as a learning tool, guiding us toward a future where decentralized finance not only meets individual financial needs, but also nurtures the community. So, as we reflect on these examples, what if the next financial platform you engage with could not only bolster your bank account, but also enrich your neighborhood? What if your financial decisions could lead to a thriving, interconnected community, where every contribution, no matter how small, has a ripple effect? What if your savings could directly fund community projects? Imagine a neighborhood where every dollar you save doesn't just sit idly in a bank, but actively contributes to building a local park, supporting a local artist, or funding a community garden. This isn't just a dream, it's an intriguing possibility within the framework of decentralized finance, or DeFi. In such a system, the very structure of financial incentives can be designed to align individual goals with the collective interests of the community. Let's explore how this might unfold through various hypothetical scenarios. Suppose we create a financial ecosystem where individuals earn rewards not solely for saving money, but for how their savings are deployed within the community. Instead of accumulating interest in a conventional sense, your funds could be allocated to projects that provide tangible benefits to those around you. For instance, when a resident deposits their savings into the system, they could choose to direct a portion of their funds toward a community initiative they care about, like a youth mentorship program. The strange consequence is that as more people participate, the community's needs become more accurately reflected in the financial decisions made within the system. Now, let's consider the potential outcomes of such an incentive structure. If individuals are rewarded for contributing to community projects, they might be more inclined to engage with their neighbors, fostering a sense of connection and shared purpose. The financial rewards could be tiered. The more funds you allocate toward community projects, the greater your personal financial benefits. This creates a compelling narrative where personal gain is intricately linked to community development. However, what happens if the incentives are misaligned? Imagine a scenario where individuals exploit this system by directing funds toward projects that benefit only a select few, perhaps at the expense of broader community needs. This highlights the importance of transparency and equitable governance in any decentralized financial system. To counteract this risk, imagine a mechanism where community members can vote on which projects receive funding, creating a democratic approach to financial decision-making. This not only empowers individuals but also ensures that the funding aligns with the community's collective priorities. Yet what if the voting process favors those with more resources, thereby marginalizing voices that are already underrepresented? This raises critical questions about accessibility and fairness in the financial ecosystem. As we ponder these scenarios, we can also consider the emotional stakes involved. What if the act of saving money transformed from a solitary endeavor into a collaborative journey? You might find joy in knowing that your financial decisions contribute to a thriving local economy, which could foster a deeper sense of belonging. However, there's a delicate balance to maintain. While financial incentives can drive participation, we must also be aware of potential over-commercialization, where community values might be overshadowed by profit motives. So, how do we navigate these complexities? What if, along with financial incentives, we integrate social rewards, such as recognition within the community or opportunities for deeper engagement? This could create a rich tapestry of motivation that goes beyond monetary gain. By envisioning these different incentive structures, we can better understand the possible paths toward a community-oriented financial system. As we explore these ideas, let's remain curious about the trade-offs involved. Who stands to benefit the most, and who might be left behind? What systems can we put in place to ensure that our financial ecosystem uplifts everyone, encouraging participation while respecting individual needs? What if you had the power to choose how your money is used? Imagine stepping into a financial world where every transaction you make reflects not just your personal interests, but also contributes to the well-being of your community. This vision isn't merely speculative, it highlights the transformative potential of opt-in systems within decentralized finance. In contrast to traditional financial models, which often operate on a one-size-fits-all premise, opt-in systems empower individuals. They allow users to decide how their contributions are utilized, fostering a sense of agency and ownership that is often absent in conventional banking. Think about it. In a typical bank, your funds are pooled together, and decisions about investments are made behind closed doors. You have little say in whether your savings fund fossil fuels or community projects. But now, imagine a platform where you can opt in to support local initiatives or sustainable ventures directly. This choice is not just about personal preference, it builds trust. When users feel their voices matter, their engagement deepens. They become active participants in the financial ecosystem rather than passive observers. Trust, as we know, is the cornerstone of any successful financial system. An opt-in model creates a transparent environment where users can see the impact of their choices, reinforcing their commitment to the platform. Yet designing such a system is fraught with challenges. First, how do we ensure that users are adequately informed about their options? Without clear communication, the very essence of user agency can be lost in a sea of jargon and technicalities. Additionally, there's the concern of accessibility. If the system is too complex, it risks alienating those who may benefit the most, individuals who lack financial literacy or access to technology. This brings us to the crux of user-centered design, making sure that participation is not only possible, but appealing. What would happen if we prioritize simplicity and transparency in our approach? Instead of overwhelming users with choices, we could curate options that align with community values and individual interests. This leads us to ponder the implications of such a shift. If more individuals are empowered to make choices about their financial contributions, could we see a resurgence of community spirit? Could localized economies flourish as people invest in their neighborhoods? The strange consequence is that we might redefine what financial success looks like, not merely a growing bank balance, but a thriving community where everyone has a stake. However, we must ask ourselves, who stands to benefit the most from this system? What if those who are already financially savvy dominate the choices, leaving behind the very individuals we aim to uplift? As we navigate these complexities, the importance of user opt-in becomes crystal clear. It's not just about participation. It's about creating a space where trust and community flourish, transforming the landscape of finance as we know it. What if new laws could either empower or hinder your financial freedom? Picture a world where a new regulatory framework emerges, one that governs decentralized finance in ways we haven't yet imagined. Suddenly, the landscape shifts, and the very principles that underpin your financial autonomy are called into question. Imagine navigating a system where smart contracts, those automated agreements that promise transparency and efficiency, now face scrutiny under these emerging regulations. The issue at hand is not simply the existence of these laws, but their complex implications. Suppose a government recognizes the potential of decentralized finance to enhance economic participation, but in its attempts to protect consumers, imposes regulations that stifle innovation. What might that look like? Imagine a scenario where every smart contract must undergo a rigorous approval process, akin to the lengthy vetting of traditional financial products. The strange consequence is that while the intention is to foster safety, the practical result could be a slowdown in the very creativity that drives decentralized finance forward. As we delve into this regulatory landscape, we must consider how adaptive strategies can be employed. What if a decentralized finance platform could evolve to meet regulatory demands without sacrificing its core principles? Envision a system designed to be flexible, where smart contracts can be adjusted in real time to comply with new laws while maintaining user trust. This adaptability could manifest in various ways, perhaps through self-executing clauses that adjust based on regulatory changes, ensuring compliance while still delivering the promised benefits of decentralization. Yet this raises further questions. Who gets to define what compliance looks like? If regulations are set by a centralized authority, how can we ensure that the voices of the community are heard in the crafting of these laws? There's an inherent tension here. The push for regulation could lead to a centralized control that contradicts the very essence of decentralization. Now, let's consider another angle. What if regulations were designed not to control but to empower? Imagine a scenario where governments collaborate with decentralized finance innovators to create a framework that not only protects consumers but also encourages new developments. This could lead to an ecosystem where compliance is not a burden but a catalyst for growth, fostering an environment where smart contracts can thrive alongside robust consumer protections. However, the challenge remains. How do we navigate the complexities of these potential partnerships without compromising the foundational principles of decentralization? In this thought experiment, we must weigh the trade-offs. What if the cost of compliance is too high for smaller players, effectively consolidating power within a few large entities? The implications here are profound. As we grapple with these regulatory challenges, we must remain vigilant about who benefits from the system and who might be left behind. Will the future of decentralized finance be one of empowerment and innovation, or will it become a landscape dominated by regulation that stifles creativity? The answers lie in our ability to envision a system that balances individual freedom with community safeguards, and in our willingness to engage with the complexities of the regulatory landscape ahead. What if financial empowerment could redefine community relationships? Imagine stepping into a vibrant marketplace, where each stall isn't just a vendor, but a reflection of the collective aspirations of the neighborhood. Here, every transaction is more than a mere exchange of goods. It's a commitment to shared values. The currency circulating in this space isn't merely a measure of wealth, but a tool for fostering deeper connections among its participants. In this reimagined world powered by decentralized finance, or DeFi, the implications stretch far beyond individual gain. They ripple through the very fabric of community life, reshaping how we interact, collaborate, and build our shared futures. Consider the potential for economic equality. In a decentralized financial system, where smart contracts automate and enforce agreements, the barriers that traditionally segregate wealth could begin to dissolve. What would happen if every individual had access to the same financial tools, enabling them to invest in local projects, support entrepreneurial endeavors, or even fund community initiatives? Imagine a scenario where your savings are not just earning interest in a distant bank, but are actively working to uplift your neighborhood. You might opt to direct a portion of your funds to a community fund that supports local artists or small businesses, ensuring that your financial decisions contribute to the well-being of those around you. Now let's reflect on the shifts in community engagement this could foster. In this decentralized landscape, participation becomes a conscious choice, not a passive obligation. Each member of the community could engage with the financial system on their terms, opting into projects that resonate with their values. Picture a community garden funded by the collective contributions of its members, where every plant nurtured is a testament to shared purpose. This model cultivates not just financial benefits but also strengthens social ties, as individuals come together, share ideas, and collaborate to bring their visions to life. The strange consequence is that financial empowerment could lead to a renaissance of local engagement, where community relationships are built on trust and shared goals, rather than mere transactions. But we must also ask ourselves, who benefits the most in this scenario, and who might be left behind? While the promise of decentralized finance is tantalizing, we must remain vigilant about the inclusivity of these systems. Are we creating an environment where everyone has equal access to participate, or are we inadvertently reinforcing existing inequalities? The beauty of smart contracts lies in their ability to be programmed for fairness. What safeguards can we implement to ensure that those who are traditionally marginalized are included in this new financial ecosystem? How do we ensure that every voice is heard and every contribution is valued? As we imagine this future, let's also consider the potential for diverse economic power structures. Instead of a hierarchy dictated by large institutions, we could see a more egalitarian model emerge, where individuals and communities wield influence based on their collective choices. This shift could lead to a landscape where power is decentralized and decision-making is distributed among many, fostering innovation and creativity. The question then becomes, how do we nurture this landscape to ensure it remains responsive and adaptable to the needs of its participants? In conclusion, the broader implications of a decentralized financial system could transform societal dynamics in profound ways. By envisioning a world shaped by smart contracts that prioritize both individual ambitions and community well-being, we open the door to a future where financial empowerment redefines our relationships with one another. The fabric of our communities could become richer, woven together by the threads of shared purpose and mutual support as we collectively navigate the complexities of this new financial frontier.